Hi guys, hey YouTube, what is up? It is Deep Toxic Gamer here, bringing you a video or gameplay video of Dead Frontier. Now, this is not to be confused as I'm quitting the World of King series. I'm not quitting that series. I'm just doing something in the meantime to fill in between the gap of me making those videos and editing those videos. And I wanted just to show off something that I grew up on. Dead Frontier, a survival horror MMORPG, which can be very scary at times. It has took most of the best aspects of a horror element and put it into a open world RPG. Now, granted, the game is older, and the only update that I've seen, which was a while ago, I'm talking about a while ago, was the standalone client. They released a standalone client, which pretty much I can launch the game from my desktop without having to go in and sign in, go through all the bullshit of the actual site. No offense to the developers of Dead Frontier, but now with the standalone client, you could play the game, you could switch the graphics, adjust it to the way you want. Let's say I can go all the way to ultimate graphics or something along those lines. Fantastic. And it run like it said it would run. It would run with those quality graphics. And you can adjust the screen size, the screen resolution, like from 640 to 180, all the way up to your actual screen size, which mine is 1320. But yeah, it would allow you to do that now. Now that has made this game a lot more enjoyable. Now there still are players active in playing this, so there is a community still on the first Dead Frontier. Which, in case you haven't noticed, there's also a second Dead Frontier, which is available on the Steam shop, which is completely free. You can download it. It's another free MMO. I haven't got the chance to play it. I honestly don't think my PC could handle something along those lines. Now, one thing to note, that the first one is completely different from the second one, graphics-wise, camera-wise, in overall detail. Now, the first one is still got its original charm to it, the whole survival aspect. One thing to note about the first one, there is a friend system. Yes, you can have friends, but you cannot see where they are on the map. Now, let's say if you look at this mini-map that you would see in my corner here, you would see like green or blue dots, which would be players. Now, if you have a friend in that zone, I don't think you can tell exactly who it is, because there is no name near the floating icon in the minimap saying, oh, this is my friend. Okay, so if you were to do a party system, which there is no party system implemented into Dead Frontier, the first one, second one I'm still not sure about, there is no party system, so you would have to stay close to this player and talk through the zones to communicate and all this. So yes, there is no party system. You pretty much have to be right behind them. You would have to know where they're going. So yeah, the map is useful in that aspect. You would actually have to plan where you both want to go. So we both start out with Natasha's outpost. Okay, we're going to go to a building that is similar to a school or a school building or the police station, which there are many. The map is huge. And so I would have to pretty much follow them from zone to zone and know exactly where they're going to meet up with them or help them get through the city. One thing to note also about the first Dead Frontier, once again not sure about the second one, is that every gun has its own sound base. So let's say I'm using a pistol, not very loud, not going to draw too much attention. Now, a shotgun, that's going to pour more attention from all that sound being thrown out in the open like that. So yeah, that is one thing that I love, or one feature that I love about the game, is that sound is a key factor of whether you're going to run into a horde or where you can find another player, because I found plenty of players using the sound. Let's say they're shooting their guns. Okay, so I'm pretty much pinpointing where am that sound coming from, how far is it, and where am I going to have to go to find them. Okay, so yes, not only can players find you by the sound of your gunshots, but the enemies can also find you from your gunshots. One thing to note about using guns, it's not really wise to use it indoors. You could have a bunch of ammo, you could have the best equipment. Yeah, I mean, the best equipment's really going to make a difference in a fight. But when using these weapons in the house, it is very, very easy to get killed. Because not only is every object in that house physical, it has its own collision box. So you're not going to be able to maneuver as easily through a house like you think you are. You're not going to be able to pass through a chair, pass through a wall. And certain places may be barricaded within that area. So yeah, these are very key features to the game that which make it scary, which make it hard. Now, I want to talk about the some of the special infected. Special infected are pretty much badass bullet sponges. Can take a lot of damage, soak up a lot of damage, in fact, and can also produce a large amount of DPS to a player. So let's say 3 hits could shatter my armor if I have armor on. Let's say I'm not wearing armor. 2 hits could pretty much end my existence right there. And some of the best ways to fight a boss like that, let's use the burning one as an example. The burning one is a burning zombie that is very strong, has a lot of health, and is an overall pain in the ass to kill. The best way to handle that is not with firearms. Believe it or not, being up close and personal with it is the best way to drop a burning one. Mainly because your melee weapons do not use sound. They do not have their own sound base. They don't project noise like a firearm. So there you go. You reduce one risk factor of being swarmed or hoarded by a bunch of infected, and the infected will come to a special infected's aid. Now, the best way to find one of those burning ones or any other special infected is generally through quests. Like, you'll get a quest to hunt specific infected, and these events have a lot of rewards, but they also have a lot of penalties, such as getting killed. Your gear gets damaged when fighting, and if you get hit, your gear takes a massive amount of damage. So there are both negative and positive features about this. Now, the special infected have their own unique ability, pretty much. One is like a tank, okay. This guy could take a hell of a lot of damage, dish out a lot of damage, and can move rather quickly, so that's going to be a problem. One thing to note about hordes. We're going to switch the topic back to the hordes. Yes, hordes from the outside will invade houses. So if you're in a house searching for gear, yeah, that house can get invaded if you're making too much noise, and especially if the siren sounds. The siren sounds being the event that the infected are attacking the outpost, and that sound pretty much draws them throughout the city in massive numbers. And yes, if you're in a house making a bunch of noise while they're passing outside, they will come in and fight you. They will find you. And that also leads to the whole team aspect. Yes, a team is very, very, very important when playing the game. So yeah, both of you need to be on top of things, be able to communicate properly, what to use, what not to use, how are we going to handle the situation. And one thing I note to all the hardcore players out there, yes, drawing little maps on a piece of paper, discussing with your friends how to get in, how to get out, how many exits do we have, how long would it take to get to this area if something were to go wrong, where will we meet if something went wrong and we got split up. Yes, getting split up in the game is a very, very common factor. It happens more often than not. A lot of times if you are traveling in a group and you're new, you don't have the best weapons and gear, so the best way to handle a situation is more often run from large numbers of infected, because granted you may be able to take them all down, but what's it going to do? You're going to take a lot of damage. You're pretty much going to put yourself in a sticky situation. You're going to run out of ammo, and it's going to be a lot harder to progress through the game. Now, what is the progression type of thing in the game? Surviving long enough to level up, get all the experience you need. And anyway, I'm going to save the rest of this narration for the next video. This is Deep Toxic Gamer signing out. Please subscribe, comment, and like the video. I thank you for all the support that you have given me now. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for tuning in.